number 6.
Number 6. Yep.
Okay, so we had a year off last year.
Yes.
How have you noticed queer art has changed throughout the past few years when we've been locked away in our rooms?
Well, artists had more time to work. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had so much time. You know, normally they had to go to work and do these things, so they got to work at home. I think their materials probably have changed, and I've noticed the colors are a little different. They're kind of more subdued and pastel.
Really?
Yes.
Because we would
noticed that a lot. Probably, I think we probably didn't notice that.
No, because we know because of your background, it's usually full of people from the southern hemisphere. But I hear, because you're now a P-Town fan,
yes,
you've taken your new stuff, because there's always new people there.
Yes.
You've got how many new people from Provincetown?
So from P-Town we have 6 people.
And was there a particular look you went or felt?
No, I kind of, since I'm lucky enough now that I'm a part-timer in P-Town, my partner Stefan and I, so I got to do a lot of gallery walks with all my guests that stayed over all through the summer, and I just always gravitated to certain artists.
Yeah.
And I kind of kept them in my pocket, you know, and when it came down to this, I started to contact them.
So this is a new look or a new feeling you're doing now?
It is. I feel like this work, like it started here with this one. You can kind of see some thematic similarities with the hand gesture, the lack of the identification on the face. They're both male figures. But I feel it's been sort of like a long process, and that's been like a gradual evolution. But this one is from like 2020, that's from 2019. And the piece is out there, outsider.
So how inspiring is Provincetown for you for your work?
I love it. It feels like home, and I just always say that it splits between, you know, it's really busy in the summer, it's slow in the winter, and that balance works perfectly for me.
Yeah. And so what do you think is so far?
It's really inspiring.
I know.
Especially this event in particular, to be amongst all these other queer artists.
Yeah.
It makes me want to rush home and create more.
Good.
I want to work bigger. I want to explore more and experiment more. It feels like I'm part of a community. I was always creative, and my background is actually in theater. But when I first started spending winters in Provincetown, I was so bored that I picked up a paint set, and I just started messing around with it. And I had a proclivity for it, and I just kept doing it, and started to slowly blossom, and I hope it keeps going.
So I'll take images, pretty much steal them, and then I'll kind of remix them. Ultimately, I remix them and make a sort of digital mock-up, and then I paint very faithfully from them.
But and your feeling is very much is movies or?
It's the whole gamut. I've appropriated from everything from the Hollywood golden era to pornography to old, physique pictorials, images from the 70s and 80s, celebrity culture. I mean, it's really anything that ultimately speaks to my upbringing.
So you're about to kick off in 2 hours' time. So let's go and have a look at some of the. We can't do all 30.
Right.
Let's look at some of your favorites.
Right. We'll make people come back to see them. Yeah.
So I hear you're called the Spanish Boys. Why is that?
Well, we are coming every year that the Gaythering is open, because this is a great chance for us to show our films here in Miami.
And you work as a partnership, or you have different art?
We are different artists, and we are sharing the room. Since this is a really big space and a nice place to show our films to people, we have split the room in 2 halves, so we are sharing the space, and we don't fight about customers.
You don't?
No.
So what's your particular style?
Well, we both are more into portrait. We like masculine portrait, but we're looking for romanticism and more into emotions.
As opposed to being erotic. It's more about the emotions.
I was born in the South, but I grew up in Florence.
Florence. So is your first time here at the fair?
Absolutely, yes.
And what do you think of it so far?
Excited.
You are?
It's amazing, actually. It's a very great experience. There's so many artists, and Alexander is also very welcoming. And
because you have featured a lot of rabbits, and you know that Alex is called the rabbit.
Yeah, it can. I mean, I was making a red rabbit, but then it became also my obsession somehow.
It does? Yeah. So what's you draw, paint, and you do sculpture?
Yes, I started from the watercolor first, and then I had the idea to go on 3D, and then I thought about making this sculpture. But these are really new. It's the first time that I'm showing in
Oh, really?
real.
So Zain, he tells me he found you on Instagram.
Yeah.
What were you doing on Instagram?
I don't know. That's just like the perfect place to like get all my work out there and like show everyone like.
You have a very wide body of work here. From paints. What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do is painting because I feel like I can just like take my time and do it. Otherwise, I've been like making rugs and I like have like this like machinery going and it's just like loud and crazy and it's not very like.
How do you get into from art to rugs? So how do you make that?
It's just like a lot of mix of like everything, I guess. Like I'm like down to make anything. If I can stick my art on something, I'll do it. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Would you live? Where'd you come from?
Palm Springs. I live in around.
Oh,
like,
Palm
Coachella,
Springs.
yeah.
Aren't you awfully young to be in Palm Springs? This looks very complex.
Yes.
Did you do it all yourself?
Yeah, so it's all done myself. This is done with a free motion machine embroidery technique. So I paint with the thread and move it all by hand underneath the machine to create all of the forms, and then all of this is hand stitched. I'm trained in couture embroidery.
So how long would a piece like this take you?
This piece, the figure probably took about 3 hours to stitch, and then the other embellishment took about a week.
And who taught you? About a load of nuns?
A load of nuns. So I'm trained in fashion design at a couple different universities. And
so what made you develop into process into art from fashion?
I was tired of making
Were you?
clothes. Yeah. I felt I had more to say, and so I'm like using the language and vernacular of fashion, but to tell different stories, and it's still all about, you know, what we put on our bodies. Minutes with somebody posing in front of me, I draw a portrait of them, and usually I do faces, but for Gayzel we do cocks.
I was going to say, welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
It's 2 years since you've seen, you've changed direction enormously.
Yes, yeah.
No more Barbie dolls.
I know, right? Yeah, that was a very popular series. I think I made over 200 of them.
You did?
So it was time to move on.
So this is the, forgive my English ignorance, this is the Jetsons.
Yes, yeah.
You never travel across it, right?
Yeah.
So
No naked night for you? Yeah.
No. So you see, we missed a lot growing up. Why the Jetsons?
It's so relevant. So the whole premise is the Earth has become uninhabitable for some reason. So they're up in the sky, living their you know fantasy life with all their technology, and you'll see in some of the pictures this bright orange skies and clouds. Not in these, but it was inspired of, you know, the orange skies in LA and San Francisco with everything burning, just this ominous. So it's like, oh, okay. So
hot damn, if you really wanna, hot damn, if you really wanna, hot damn, know that you wanna.
So thank you, it was a great choice. It's some great art this week. Now I hear next year you're going to be back here, but you've got another side obviously.
Yes, so we're working on ARTGAYSEL P-Town for Pride Weekend P-Town, which is the first weekend in June. And I'm working with Stuart at the Cruise Quarters.
Oh, you are?
So the Cruise Quarters would be our gathering for the weekend, yeah.
Not quite so grand as your place. It's very sort of basic stuff. So
it's great. It's going to be great.
How many artists are you looking for?
17.
Wow,
Yeah, already, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to run the details of the Hôtel Gaythering on the site after this interview, and if you click on events,
Gathering.com/ARTGAYSEL.
ARTGAYSEL, you'll see the details of the one in June, and sign up on his website or follow him on Instagram, and you know what's going on.
Yes, at Gaythering on Instagram.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hot damn, if you really wanna, hot damn, if you really wanna, hot damn, know that you wanna, jump in, hot